My name is Qasim Basir, the writer-director of Mooz-lum, the movie.
It's a Mooz-lum name!
You can call me T.
I'm sure your mother didn't name you T.
Why haven't you come to see us?
Ever since that boy was born, you've been trying to create a carbon copy of yourself.
My boy's gonna be a Hafiz of the Quran.
This journey started with me a while ago, probably about 8 years ago, when I came to the realization that I really need to do what I love and make a difference while doing so. And that was filmmaking. And since then I've been on the grind. I've been struggling and, making other projects, but this is really my first real movie that is out there in this kind of way that's being recognized by people. Alhamdulillah, it's being seen by a lot of people. It's been released in the US and now we're trying to come to the UK, but I made it for purposes of giving a generation a voice that has not yet been properly represented in any films. I mean, in my life I've probably seen thousands of films and have never seen myself in one of them. So as a filmmaker, as I consider myself sort of a historian of sorts, because films have shaped people's views on cultures for years, for decades, and I hope this will do that as well.
We've just been to see Mooz-lum, an intense, deep, good movie. Personally, these were my thoughts when I was sat there watching it. Intense and beautiful.
I was in a car accident through a window into the woods and to this fence, and I got scraped up and my head broke the window. And my cousins, they say when they found me I was covered in blood and not breathing, so I don't remember any of it after my head hit the window, but after that, my head was swollen the size of this room, and I had brain contusions, which are bruises on your brain, and the doctor kept telling me, he told me that if these contusions swell up, your brain might potentially get bigger than your head, and you might not make it. And, at 21 or whatever, you're like, wait, what? Because you don't think about that, The only people that really think about dying is like old people, because they know it's coming. But when you don't really consider it, and you don't really consider your life in a real way, I'm laying there like, man, I could not be here in 2 days. What have I done, man? And you start to consider your conversations and your daily actions, and to me, it didn't amount to much, because up until that point, I was talking about a pretty girl or football or something, and I wanted to do more, I wanted to say more. And with these kinds of films, I have the opportunity to do that.
I am here to pick up my son.
I don't want nothing to do with this, and I want nothing to do with you guys. Stay away from me, do you hear me?
Just received clear word that this is a deliberate act of terrorism on the United States.
Well, while it was my first film that's out there, I've done stuff before. I've worked on films, I've worked on shorts, videos, stuff like that. So I know how to do this. That whole star factor went away from me pretty quickly. I've never really dealt in that world of oh my God, there's Nia Long. It's we're all people here, we're all equal in the eyes of Allah. So it's I think that foundation really helped me, because that didn't really affect me too much at all. And it can't, if you're gonna be a respected director, you can't be on set acting like a fan. It's your actors will not respect you. And if you lose control of that set, then it's really hard to get it back. So I had to go in there with a sort of fearless attitude.
I thought that the film, it actually went through a lot of chambers in life. What I mean by that is, it touched on a lot of issues. It touched on identity. It touched on, basically, Islam and Muslims. You know what I'm saying? how Islam is in reality of mankind, womankind, how we live as individuals?
Well, you know, it's a collaboration thing. There's never any, I don't work like that. I don't say, I'm the director, my ego's as big as this city. I don't do that. I just, it's a collaboration. And with each actor, you deal with them completely differently. And you have dialogue and, you know, you talk about the character, you talk about the scenes, and you go from there. I don't know, man. People are gonna take from it what they will. I'm not going to impose that on anyone. You know, I don't want to give people ideas. I do want, however, people to go in with an open mind and an open heart and look at the bigger picture, you know.
I thought the film was well directed, and I thought the best thing about it was the issues it was dealing with. Well, I'd say that's the most important thing about it. It's the issues it's dealing with. It's dealing with indigenous Muslims in the West and the trials and tribulations that they go through. I would have liked to have seen some more in-depth and development of the character once he started facing his demons a bit more. So it was a bit of an abrupt end for me, but there's only so much you can put into an hour and hour and 40 minutes. So I'd like to first, just congratulate the director, mashallah, and wish him the best. And we hope for more to come, and we hope for a UK version soon as well.
Make sure your product is good. You know, don't become a filmmaker because your mom has told you every film that you've made is good. Because that is, no matter how you look at it, a completely subjective point of view that will always be the same from your mother. You know, make sure you have the right people around you that are giving you proper constructive criticism. And when you feel like it is, you must go out there with a type of resilience that will get you through. Like, you must be resilient, you must be fearless. Do not let people detract you from what you're trying to say. And finally, keep yourself intact. A lot of people will say, you gotta do whatever you gotta do to make it. Like, you gotta, and no, that's not necessarily true. You have to try hard to make it, but you set your boundaries, you set your standards, and you don't go beyond them. Because once you start to lose yourself, it's a real sliding slope, and you start going down that road, you may never come back. And the reason a lot of these celebrities are crazy is because they don't have this, and they're being controlled by all this other stuff around them, all the elements. So make sure you keep that intact.
La queen and Billy Meba.